Hey everyone, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel. We're back in Upland with another virtual real estate video. And today Upland announced the Rio collections. So they just released the city of Rio. People minted it like crazy. It minted out. There's tons of action and hype around Rio. And then they announced their collections today on what properties will be in those collections, make more money, and not just earn more money through higher yields, but probably be worth more money because they're in those collections. So in this video, I'm going to talk about those collections, where they are, check values to see how much values have increased, and then talk about what my predictions were for some of the collections and how I did on my properties as well. And of course, we'll talk about some other stuff in Upland, like our lazy nodes and different things going on there as always too. All right, we love the comments, love the shares, love the likes. Keep those coming, and love to see new subscribers. We keep growing, so that is awesome to see. All right, so I did not wake up for the release. So usually I am participating in most things Upland has to offer. A few times I've had closings or different things going on in my real estate life. I am an investor in real life as well. And but with the 6 a.m. launch my time, I just didn't see the value in being there for the collections being announced. And so I woke up at my normal time, checked our Discord. We have a Discord for our lazy nodes, which you can always join by clicking on the link below in the description, and saw how people did, and sound like some people hit their collections, some didn't, which is what always happens. But in general, my philosophy is to try and sell my properties before the collections are announced, because I can avoid some really big losses. And a lot of times, even if you hit your collections, there isn't that massive of a jump in value either. So it's kind of gambling, and the odds aren't always in your favor. So I'm not a huge gambler anyway, and when the odds are stacked against me, I'm even less of a gambler. But that doesn't mean some people didn't do really good, and we'll check out and see how everything went here. Okay, so we're in Rio right now, and real easy to see the collections. Of course, they announced them on their Discord in different places, but you just click on that little button, and we can go down to Rio and see what they are. I've looked at these already, but yeah, I know it can be more exciting when I see them in real time, and I'm waiting on Discord and then trying to snag some properties that might be cheap. But again, sometimes I get in more trouble doing that than it benefits me, because I think some properties are real cheap in some of these, smaller neighborhoods, where I don't know exactly what tier the neighborhoods are or streets when they're first released. You go buy some, then you realize they're lower tier, they're not worth as much, and you can actually get stuck with some properties, paying too much for properties. So that can happen. So let's see here. Tijuca is the smallest standard collection. And you can see here the bonus of 1.3 times your yield. In general, we have a Rio. I should probably put some of my properties in here. I don't even know what these are. But we'll just click on some of them for now. All right. And then remember, too, you don't get your bonus right away on some of these. So you have to hold them for a week or even longer on some of these. So you do get a bonus, just for having some of those. So that's nice, but like the standard collections, you'll get your bonuses right away. But all the other ones, you have to wait a little bit, which makes it less of an advantage to have those, those collections. So Tijuca and Barra da Tijuca. And the interesting thing here too is that not all of these neighborhoods will be released yet. Rio is not fully released, and so we can see the neighborhoods that are released right here, but they will be releasing more of Rio as time goes on. And so some of these, we might be looking for them and realize, oh, these don't exist yet. I'm not real familiar with Rio to know where they might be, and I haven't done all that research. So we can kind of see some of the properties and neighborhoods around here, and I'm just trying to remember and look at them as we look. And is Tijuca or Barria Tijuca even on here? I am not sure. Ciudad, that's the FSA neighborhood. So I'm not even sure if that's on there yet. And then the other interesting thing too is once they release other parts of the city, we'll already know what those collections are. So we'll know where the more valuable properties will be, and Upland will have adjusted their prices. So the next collection or release of Rio may not be nearly as exciting if we already know all the collections. So that'll be interesting. I wonder how that all plays out. We'll have to see about that if they do release more of Rio or if they just go to different cities. So I don't even see those, and they're not that important either. They're real small. Oh, yeah, I don't have any in there, just making sure. And we can always go to Upland and see if those are even listed on here as well. Yeah, I don't think that's there. So I don't think those neighborhoods even exist yet. Just double checking to make sure I don't make a mistake, which I've never ever done before. All right, so moving on. Santa Teresa and Daria in Copacabana, Jardim Botanico, Ipanema, Mangueira, Estacio, lots and lots of these. Again, I'm just gonna save us some time and see which one of these. Oops. Santa Teresa, where is that one? That one does exist. So we can pull up and see. Was that the right one though? Yeah. So they don't have their collections on here yet. So you can, 14th, that's cheap, right? Let's see if we can go buy that property. I'm always a sucker for a really cheap property if it's 20. Oh, not there. It's not showing it. Okay, so where is Santa? There's Santa Teresa. Ooh, it's big. But it's going to be really tough to find that property in all of this. And see lots of them listed there. So that is one time I like to try and snipe properties a little bit if they're priced, $5,000 less than everything else. But sometimes these are outdated too, and not the that could have already have been sold by now. So I'm gonna try that again. Why? No? How can there not be? Let's try doing that. No? Could be the address is just entered wrong in Upland. That happens too. So anyway, not a big deal. But we can see those neighborhood prices close to the 20s in that range. And nothing too crazy. I don't know what all of these neighborhood prices were before. We can look a little bit at some of these last prices. And do we know when this was sold? If it was before or after the collection was released? We don't know. Maybe they got it right after. Maybe they got it right before. But I'm guessing this is a big neighborhood with, hundreds of properties for sale. Prices probably did go up. So if you had a property in that Santa Teresa, you probably made out just great. Or a couple of properties. This one again, Endari. I don't know if I recognize that one. Yeah, I don't think that one's been released yet. Copacabana definitely has. Let's see what prices are there. That's one where I kind of predicted. I don't want to say predicted. I said it could be a collection. I don't try and predict them. I say what I think might be a collection, what others might be a collection, and go from there. And you can see prices here, 30, 32. I don't think that's much different than what they were before the collections were announced. And you'll see that a lot where people think these will be collections, so prices are already up there higher. And then if it is announced as a collection, then, they don't raise that much unless it's like a rare or ultra rare collection. If it's just a limited, then that's not that big of a deal. Jardim, let's see if that one's on here. Which one was it? Was it that one? Jardim Botanica. No? I don't know if that one's on here either. I don't think so. So I don't think that one exists either yet. Again, that's kind of weird how they did that. Ipanema definitely is here. That's another one that was right on the coast. And a lot of people thought would be a collection. I think did I have a property in there? I think I did. Again, floors at 30,000 to 35. Not that different from what it was before, I feel like. Maybe, there were some properties cheaper, but not that many. Mangueira, Again, my pronunciation is horrible, so I apologize to everybody for that. That one does exist too. Let's see what price is there. 40. Oh, that one's higher. Well, I think that one had higher prices though before too. Maybe they're a little higher now. But you can see the last price. That's a good neighborhood to be in and have properties. So that's interesting to see where it's at. Estacio. Is Estacio here? I don't know if I remember that one or not. I don't think so. Okay, so that made it through the purple collections. And then let's take a look at kind of where some of those are. So Ipanema is down here. So I did have 2 properties in there, but I sold them for right around that price before, so it wasn't that big of a deal holding them or selling beforehand. Now, if that had not been announced as a collection, prices would be way lower. So again, that's, you know, the double-edged sword there, and why I like to sell stuff beforehand. And then Leme, I don't think Leme was. That was one that could have been. And we're going to move up here a little bit. Don't think Gloria was. That was thought to be one. Saud, if you say that, was thought to be one. I have a couple properties there. But I'll talk about that later too. Oh, there's Mangira. So that one's over here. And why it's not the worst that you miss collections here either in some of these smaller neighborhoods. We'll talk about that too. I have some properties here. So let's continue to look at these though and see our collections moving into the Leblon, Lapa, Avienda de Sa, Avienda Niemeyer. These are interesting too. Leblon again was one where I had a property. I sold it, and that was one that a lot of people thought would be a collection. It was one, and we'll see what prices are there. 51. They're a little higher. So those rows are a little higher. Once you get into the orange, those are definitely higher than they were prior to the collection announced. Urca? I don't remember Urca. I don't think that's... Oh, it is there. Okay. I'm not sure. 64. Prices are starting to get higher here too. So if you hit that exclusive rare, then you get into that. Lapa. I had a property there. I think I sold it right beforehand, and that's okay. Again, I'm not sad about it. And I actually had one that's on Mem de Sa and Lapa, and I wonder how much those are worth right now. That's the one I sold, but that's okay. I thought they both might be collections, and they were. 60. Again, this isn't huge jumps though. Stuff was 40 to 50, maybe even close to that. So it's not like a gigantic jump from where it was pre-collection there. Even if you hit those nice ones, and then Avienda Mem de Sa. This is one I'm kind of curious to see, because I had 2 properties on there, and I talked about this could definitely be a collection, and it was. So I'm glad I was right, but and I had properties there. But again, look at this. Yes, this is a collection, and prices are right where they were before. An exclusive collection with a street, prices almost the same as what they were before. Very interesting. And then let's see if we have one on. There's one on Lapa, just like I had. So I definitely don't feel bad about selling mine now. And I sold it for less than I bought it for, but I sold it for dollars. I sold it for $95. I bought it for 110 thousand UPIX. And having those dollars in my account is very valuable, because then I can buy properties much cheaper. And so I'm okay selling properties at a loss if I'm selling them for dollars, because that's real money. I could take it out if I want, although I haven't done that yet, or I can buy other properties way cheaper. So that's something to consider too. Is I don't even know where that is, but Niemeyer. If you're gonna sell properties, sometimes you may have to sell them for a loss. But it's not just about if you're taking a loss now. It's about how can you use that money in the future, right? If you're taking a loss now, but you can make way more money in the future by taking that loss, sometimes taking that loss is good. If you're just going to hold that forever and hope it keeps going up in value, that's a risky play. It's kind of like real estate as well. And is that sorry, Avienda Niemeyer. No, I don't have a neighborhood in there. There's just a couple on there, but that's not even the right neighborhood. Maybe that one's not released yet. That one's probably not released yet. That's probably why. Okay. So anyway, it's kind of the same in real life as well, where if I have a property, and sometimes I lose money on flips or rentals and different stuff, it doesn't do me any good to just hold it and hope it goes up in value later. If I have a bunch of money tied up in it, I know I can use that money to make more money now. I'll take a loss, I'll sell it, I'll get my money out, and I'll use that money to make money right now where I know I can make money, not just hope I can make money later. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. If you saw that, there's Avienda, or do I say it wrong? Someone told me I keep saying it wrong. Avenida. Yes, I do say it wrong. Avenida Atlantica. I kept saying this could be a collection as well. And oh, get out of here. And if your up excellent is still not... What am I doing? If your up excellent is still not showing up, I always open an incognito window or clear your cache. It's just easier for me to do the incognito window. So now that I'm messing everything up, I didn't even say where I was before. Did I say I was an up excellent? So maybe I needed to say that. There you go. So now we're at Atlantica. Okay. Ooh, those went up some. Well, even there were some selling for under 200, but not many. So that went up again. Not these crazy price increases a lot of people think. Rio Branco. I think Rio Branco was also one I tried to buy on during the stress test. I was trying to buy there because I thought that might be a collection. Look at it. It is. I never did buy anything. This one, that's can't be the right road. No, there you go. 250. Those bumped up quite a bit. Those were in the hundreds. Now they're 250. So that's one where you hit it good. And then Rodriguez Alves is another one I said might be a collection. So Avenida, not Avienda, Avenida. Rodriguez Alves is another one that wow, I did pretty good. Not to toot my own horn, but let's see if if I spelled that right. I don't. What is it here? Rodriguez Alves. And that was in the Sod neighborhood, or that YouTube property as I was trying to buy. There it is. And so those jumped up a lot. So I wonder if that YouTube property, I found the owner, and I was thinking about buying it, but they wanted $500, and that was just, I didn't think it was quite worth it. But that's right here. And let's see if it's still for sale, if they bumped the price. Ooh, now it's 800. Yeah, so good on them. That wasn't worth it to me, but happy they hit their collection. So you can see I bought a couple properties here. I've still got some properties here, one on Avienda and one just down here that I used to as a possible send-off spot for the release. All my properties down here are sold. Not sad about it because I made almost as much money as I would have if I waited for the collections, even though some of them were in collections. And you can see I bought a bunch of properties up here too. So what my thoughts are here is if you're buying in some of these small neighborhoods, even if you didn't hit the collection, which most people wouldn't have, you're going to have possibilities of nodes being started in them. I don't know if I want to start a node here yet or not. I still haven't thought about that. And because of that possibility of nodes being started, you could see prices jump up later on. Maybe not right away, but in the future. And so I started buying a couple of these, real small neighborhoods, and just stuff was pretty cheap. It's on the coast, small neighborhood, and now stuff is cheap again. So I might just kind of buy some more properties in there and see what happens. Maybe I start a node later on in there. Maybe I don't. Maybe someone else does. I don't have any real plans to do anything yet. So we'll see. But that was one that I thought was interesting. I thought Saud was interesting as well. I wonder what prices are there. I probably paid more than they're worth right now. And then that's kind of the hedge of, oh yeah, real cheap in there now. So you could buy some real cheap stuff in there if that ever becomes a node. So there's lots of opportunities out there, even if you don't quite hit what you were looking for. So that's the collection release. We'll see what those prices do. Sometimes if there's good deals there, you can hop on, get the excitement, especially the first day, buy, flip real quick. But just remember, with the collections, usually what happens in the cities, the first day they're announced, they bump up pretty high, and over time they slowly start decreasing. So if you're flipping and you buy one and you want to, buy cheap and flip it high, it's usually good to do it right away. If you get stuck and wait, you might catch that downward curve. That's happened to me a lot of times, and then you bought properties for more than they're worth later on. So we'll see what happens. All right, that's the Rio collection release. We'll talk about the lazy nodes here more in another video. We did announce our new winner yesterday, so hopefully you all saw that in our dedicating Spark if you're in our lazy nodes. Very easy to be in our lazy nodes. Simply just say you're in the lazy nodes and you're pretty much in the lazy nodes. They're very lazy. I showed my laziness today by not waking up for this. But let me know how you did on the collections, what you thought about it. what you think about the future of Rio in collections. And love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. We'll be back soon.